It's like, right, being on stage.
Russ and Claire, you wanted to know what I said at the wedding, but you didn't record it.
They weren't listening.
Before I start, anyway, Russ, as you can see, you've got me dressing like you now. What happened? I went to the riots, I got there late. That's all that was left outside. But I think it suits me. In fact, I could have got on that church bench like you. With my new kecks on.
You got your Chanel beads? Shut up.
These
No, you've got to weckle him.
exactly like yours. And obviously you're not planning to have kids because you can't freaking move in there. I know why you call yourself auto scratching, all because. Anyway, Russ, just nice to speak to you, and I'll do the speech in a minute when I finish yapping. What I said was that Crankfest was German for Sick Festival. But we were only at the Queasy stage, if you remember at the time. And I said, welcome to the big fat Fitzy wedding. But unlike the TV show with a similar name, where the boozy, uncouth, unshaven, tattooed blokes and the women with the dyed hair and the cakes on makeup and the crimpling cleavages and the corned beef legs and the too tight dresses and the 5 o'clock shadow. Because that's a family trait. I mean, the three nieces from Macclesfield, known as the Mac 3. I said to one of them, her suit's nice. She said, who are you calling her suit? Anyway, they travelled 250 miles in caravans to camp out in the bloody field. Well, we're nothing like that. We've come in cars. Now, I'm one of the Puffs. That's the part-time union of forlorn Fitzpatrick's son-in-law. The part-time because we're only allowed out once a year. And we compare bruises, medication, and discover, funny enough, that we've all been told to wear the same thing. Except me, Russ, because now I'm into auto-scrap. Anyway, one of our senior members, Mr. Mike Joyce, you'll meet eventually, he's expressed a view, and it's his view, because we don't have opinions or anything. He had a worm-turning moment, and he insisted on passing a motion that we were in the best position, Claire, to tell you what it's like being married to a crank. Well, I'll tell you what it's like, Russ, because make the most of this couple of months lovey-doveyness you've got with Claire, because that'll soon wear off. At the moment, it's, oh, Russ, I love you. I love you, Russ. Well, I'll tell you what, we're gone by Christmas. I've been out all day. What have you been doing? Look at the state of the place. I don't know what I saw in you. That's why when they take the vows, did you notice the bouquet? Why do you think they carry a bouquet? Because they have their fingers crossed underneath it. And the minister says, do you love and respect and all? They want to say, yeah, right, because no intentions of going along with that.
Yeah, right.
And after a couple of months, it's slagging off rotten, and then Christmas comes. What have you got me for Christmas? Perfume. Perfume? Couldn't you use your... Same as the 3 bottles of wine. Couldn't you use that? Couldn't you think of something different for me? So the year after, you'll think, oh, I'll get something different. So you come in, I've got you this. Have you still got the receipt? It's lovely.
No, give me the receipt.
Why is the receipt dated 1 minute to 6 on Christmas Eve? So just remember that, Russ. Make the most of it. I was shocked when we saw Got One taking the photos outside the church. I thought when we came out, we'd see 30-foot billboards of Fitzpatrick women all over the church. And luckily we didn't. I mean, and some of the girls were upset. I noticed Marie had lost the plot. She was wetting herself right next to a stained glass window. I think it was a stained glass window. It was anyway when we came out. Talking of Got One, you know, Joyce sent her picture up to it. She thought the show was called How to Look Good Knackered. And sent it back saying, I suggest you go on a pilgrimage to Lourdes. Very unkind, really. Anyway, I better get back to your speech, eh? So we compiled a booklet self-help for beginners, but we've not cleared it with the lawyers yet. Copyright lawyers, we'll find one. Now, the Fitzpatricks, for all of those who don't know, are quite a formidable family. No one could hold a candle to their mother. Well, she was on meths most of the time. Trying to cope with 14 kids. And the Department of the Environment recently issued a statement that you're never more than 6 feet away from one. Right, now then. What do they say in church? Never go to bed on an argument. What a load of... They don't let you go to bed on an argument. They keep you awake. They prod you in the side of the head. Why are you tired? You've done fuck all right. Most of the sisters are townies, no more so than Joyce. And she's like a fish out of water. And I said to her, "Are you sure you're going to be all right staying on a farm?" She said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, you're going to be woken up by a cock at 5 o'clock." And she said, "Do you know, Claire and Russ have thought of everything." Donna, Kevin and Patrick thought it was fancy dress and came as Jesus, Mary and Joseph. And it's easy to make mistakes. No more so than in your brochure. I think we got the proof copy because it said there'll be plenty of time and space for the guests to be minging with each other.
Bingo!
And then the only way that Claire got her father to leave his beloved garden was because it said it was a weeding weekend. I know gentlemen prefer blondes, but it also says at the service that Russell Brand will express his love for fair clits. Now here's the big surprise. You know, we all thought Claire had been working in the city for the last couple of years. Well, she hasn't. Her and Russ are actually based here at the Gatwick Expansion Protest Group. It's known as Fitzpatrick and Crank oppose frequent flying. Back off for sure.
Say it again, I didn't get that, man. What was it?
Fitzpatrick and Crank oppose frequent flying. Sorry about the interruption. We've got visitors, I'm sorry about that.
Shut your own.
Every day they march onto the runway to stop a plane. But this weekend she wants to stop an Airbus, so she needs some heavyweight support. That's why she's invited the aunties. Now, I know that sounds unkind calling them heavyweights, because they're all mostly size 10, 12 feet. But she needed at least 8 big arses to act as wheelchairs. Chris in particular, who's well known for her reverse thrust. And Claire's Auntie Joyce Jetson, because she's affectionately known as Easy Jetson, and lately, since she put a bit of weight on, Jumbo Jetson. She's got a hatred of airlines, so she's volunteered to shout down air traffic control from here. So now you know, the wedding's a sham, but we'll carry on with the charade until tomorrow and hope that air hemorrhoids can still take off again and they're not too offended by the mooning system. Well, thanks Russ and Claire for that smashing weekend. We're all here now saying the same thing, and I don't think in my 35 years that I've ever been to anything as good. Cheerio.
Cheerio.